Prep your portfolio for 2012. Stephanie, what is the #1 macro theme you're going to be keying into in 2012?
I want to keep an eye on China. I know everyone's focused on Europe, but I think if we get plans in place out of Europe and we can kind of calm things down, we already know it's really bad. But if you look at China, we have to keep an eye on, see where they're going to grow and what is going to be happening there. And I think that, a couple of weeks ago, when they in fact lowered their bank reserve rates for the first time in 2.5 years, that was a signal that there's more to come. And in my opinion, you want to be careful on growth and growth deceleration, but when the Fed or the governments are actively easing interest rates, those are the markets then you want to be participating in.
How big of a worry is inflation for China, however?
Well, it has been for the last 2.5 years, which is why they have been raising rates. So I think those are the numbers you're going to want to look at, CPI, PPI, on a regular basis. But again, I don't think they would have lowered rates a few weeks ago if they thought that was getting out of control. Plus, you have been seeing those numbers come down over the last couple of months.
So then what sectors really benefit from China growth?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably make a case for a lot of different groups, but I would say the industrials are probably the most impacted because, these companies, it's really where their growth is going to be in the future. So if you look at a Cummins, it's about 5% of EBIT in China. However, that's expected to grow substantially over the next several years. Same with Caterpillar. So, I like a company, Dover International. This company has done a great job at kind of getting out of the low margin businesses and buying and acquiring higher margin businesses. They've been much more accretive, and they are expanding into Asia now. So I think that actually is kind of an interesting play on that theme.
Now, what about the physical commodities? I know that theme might be played out, but if China actually winds up restocking their inventories, they could really benefit in the short term. Is there a commodity that you'd be playing?
Certainly, I would say, copper is kind of the one I naturally think of. But one of the off the beaten path ideas might be coal, because those stocks have been really hit hard. And what I would do is I would buy a basket, because those stocks are so volatile. I'd buy a basket of the coal, and then I would also focus on copper, because I think those two markets, they're continuing to buy those end products.
And last question, what's the biggest risk? What would derail this thesis for you?
If growth slows so dramatically below 7%, because they can't grow below 7% and keep employment where it is. So that's one. Or two, that they do start easing and inflation comes back and starts to kind of rear its ugly head. So we'll keep an eye on both of those.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate it. So one big theme for 2012 will be China, and that's how you invest.